AskReddit bottles Triforce. What's the dumbest thing you've seen an intelligent person do? A senior physicist trying to go his lab on the edge of an area with chemical hazard warning lights flashing. It turns out that it was a false alarm, but the readouts were a gaseous chemical leak of the melt your face off variety. The people he wanted to talk to had definitely already evacuated. I know you should always take warnings seriously, but I used to hear so many alarms constantly that I just kinda tuned them out. Then I moved out of the city, heard an alarm while grocery shopping, didn't really register it. Overheard some kids and realized there was a fire in the restaurant next door. As a kid I saw my stepfather, a doctor with several specialist qualifications who did 2 masters in the same year on a whim, put his hand under the lawnmower to dislodge something. The lawnmower was still on. He didn't lose fingers permanently but had several months of recovery and skin grafting surgeries. He was academically brilliant but lacked a lot of practical life skills, clearly. My father is a mechanic. He is a brilliant man, the classic autistic genius artificer type who can fix anything. But 15 years ago he tried to remove snow clogging the snowplow fan while the fan was on. He lost both his middle and index fingertips. This year, he tried to wash his hands with a pressure washer. Just this week someone microwaved a fork in the office kitchen. I work at a research institute. Everyone in here has at least a master's in engineering. We had someone do that at a previous research institute I worked at, but it was because they were angry at their department and took it out on the microwave. Try to sand the underside of a fan belt while the engine was running. His index and pinky finger are the same length now. Why though? Someone with a Harvard PhD in biochemistry told me that it never occurred to them that different colors of Nespresso pods in their office meant different types or blends of coffee. It was just all coffee and sometimes the coffee was good, sometimes it was off, and sometimes it felt like it did nothing. It wasn't until they mentioned the last point to a coworker that the coworker pointed out that this person was in the process of loading a decaf pod into the machines. This would never happen to me. On the other hand, I could never get a biochemistry PhD from Harvard. Married man keeping Grindr notification sounds on thinking his adult kids would have no idea what it was. Why do his kids know what it is? My mom, who was multilingual, said to me, "Watch out for that ice. It might be frozen." Was she wrong though? I'm an ocean lifeguard. I was driving a truck on a beach that has unstable cliff faces, so part of my job is telling people it's unsafe to sit under them. I pulled up to a man that was comically sitting on a fallen rock, directly in front of a sign that said, "Danger falling rocks," warned him it wasn't a safe area, and he kinda smirked for a second before looking around, and seeing that I was right. He got very embarrassed, turned bright red, head in his hands, visibly upset and very apologetic. I told him it's fine, and that a lot of people don't think about things like that. He said, "No, you don't get it. I should know better, out of anyone. It's not fine. I'm a geologist." Was the man Randy Marsh? My brother is one of the smartest people I know, but he habitually eats the onion. Every now and then he comes at me with crazy stories, and then when he goes to show me his source, I can see him notice in real time that his source is the onion, and then he scrambles to find the real article the onion spoofed off it. Then he says I can't find it now, but this one was based on a real event that was slightly less weird. Not as bad as Jordan Peterson tweeting a picture from a sperm milking porno claiming was a Chinese human breeding facility. Bought balloons for a housewarming party, blew them up by mouth, and didn't understand why they didn't float. Granted, she grew up a Jehovah's Witness and wasn't around balloons a lot. What's the connection? No parties. This week I had to explain gravity to a group of people and they didn't believe me. Mavity. I saw a doctor walk right into a window at Panera Bread one time. I guess he thought it was an open door. I've done it at a pristine hotel. Everyone saw. I was there for an academic conference. I was mortified and in pain. Last week I couldn't find my phone, so I looked down to the phone in my hand and started to try the find my phone thing when, oh. I swear I'm at least reasonably intelligent. Yep, last week I turned my phone flashlight on to help look for my phone behind the bed. Spoiler, it wasn't behind the bed. I have a close friend, super smart, always had the highest average at uni, won multiple awards and stuff, and in conversations generally just either knows a lot about any subject at hand, or knows enough from other subjects to draw a probable theory about it. She's also kicking it in every other aspect in life. Great girl, kind, humble, caring towards everyone, works out, eats healthy, is always learning a new language or skill, all in all an amazing girl. But I swear on my life, I have never seen anyone with a worse taste in men. Most of the guys she was attracted to dated were losers, cocky bastards who think too highly of themselves, or just utter scum. I can't even explain it. To me the guys were walking red flags, a waste of a bag for bones. Luckily, she finally found a decent, smart, caring, well-spoken man. I damn near cried tears of joy when she told me about him. They've been together for a few years now. We're all happy for her, too. One of my school's mates' dad was a professor at a top university in economics. He did a lot of traveling giving speeches. Anyway, he decides to go walking on his own around a township in Johannesburg at some hour of night. He was luckily picked up by a passing police car, and the officers were apparently having a meltdown at how stupid it was to be around that part of town and at that hour. My roommate's best friend was an engineering major. He helped us move our furniture to our upstairs apartment in an old house. Obviously no elevator. Very narrow staircase. This intelligent person got our couch stuck to the ceiling of the staircase. I was like, I don't know what you study as an engineering major, but I don't think this is right. Go talk to any assembly line worker and they will constantly bitch about engineers who make things that are a pain in the ass to physically assemble. And those are often mechanical engineers. He coded a full-on website in his notepad, then when he tried to copy it, he deleted everything by accident. Guess he was shocked, so he immediately closed notepad. Then he realized he just ruined his last chance of undoing it. Me in 1996 trying to set up my GeoCitizen and gel firesites. Date and sometimes even marry a total shithead. Hi, it's me. I dated and married a shithead. A cardiologist I worked with was contacted by Apple about his computer security. He gave them access to his laptop and was working with the guy to set something up on there when I got suspicious and googled for him. I ran to his office to show him the Apple website, saying they would never contact you by phone, and if you do, it's a scam. He immediately ended the call and shut the computer down. He had to make many phone calls and change many passwords as it was his work laptop. Thankfully, no harm was done. Proof that even highly educated doctors can be scammed. My aunt, who retired after 45 years as an international auditing accountant for a major corporation, almost got scammed out of $30K a few weeks ago by someone from Apple who convinced her to go liquidate a bank account and exchange it for Bitcoin. Fortunately, someone intervened and saved her from her mistake before she did it. People prey on elders and it sucks. Caps lock instead of shift to type a single capital letter. I can't even tell you how many times I've tried to capitalize numbers as in the digit 1, 2, 3, not the spelled out word 1, 2, 3. One of the programmers at my work was trying to connect his computer to the projector in our conference room. He was trying to plug the HDMI cable into his Ethernet port and asked everybody in the room why he can't connect to the projector. Didn't some astronaut lady put on a diaper and drive overnight to harass some man? Yes, Lisa Novak. She drove 900 miles. I remember reading that she drove a VW diesel, TDI, to accomplish the feat without stopping, along with the astronaut diapers. Believed she could cure her ALS by having her fillings removed because they contain toxic metals that cause the disease. Spoiler, it didn't work. As someone with chronic illness, I can say confidently that level of suffering alters how you think. You become desperate and irrational in any attempt to have relief. It's not so much stupid as it is desperation. Meth. It's the greatest drug out there, the best bang for your buck, one of the best feelings imaginable, and any person with a decent amount of intelligence could figure out that nothing can be that good without having some massive and inherent consequences. Deleted. That's crazy. Do you have his number by any chance?